we go into the system, the government system, and how education is structured, I think it's structured in a way that, as you've mentioned, that the teacher, the ones who has knowledge, and they just impart, and the guy should collect knowledge and run with it. So I don't know. You said as well that we shouldn't. You don't see teachers as teachers, or you don't address them as teachers. You address them as transformers. So I'm thinking where to begin. Should we begin to say, let's focus on transformers? Then after transformers, we go back to the curriculum or to the system. Where to begin?
For me, everybody has a locus of control.
Yeah.
Everybody has a circle of influence around them in which they can impact the world. If we are expecting our students, our learners, our colleagues to live in a way that is socially just, we have to give them the sense of what actions they can take around themselves first. So if we have these visions for our learners, we have to have these same visions for ourselves. And one of the key things that I think is critical is that it doesn't matter. Teachers will often say, it's the curriculum, it's the students, it's technology, it's whatever. But the question I always ask them is that if this was your child, and somebody said to you, this child, and your child was blind, you would spend the whole night making sure that child could read Braille. You would find a way, you would be creative, you would not give up. But yet we give up on other people's children very easily. We don't have that same sense of dedication because they're not ours. Oh, the mom or the dad or whoever must teach them, right?
Yeah.
But let me peel back one more very important piece. That it's not what we learn today will be irrelevant tomorrow.
That's true.
But how we think about today will shape tomorrow.
True.
What we are advancing is not knowledge itself. It's the lens. It's the lens of analyzing and making sense of the world around us, and then acting on it.
Yeah.
So part of that, let me sort of think about, for me, Ubuntu is not a passive thing. It is an active framework of liberation. It asks us to think about learning in our heads, in our hearts, in our spirits, in our bodies, in our present, in our past, and our future at the same time. To think about our ancestors, to think about when somebody says sawubona, they're not saying I see you only.
Yeah.
The person says ngikhona. They're not just saying I am here. They're saying ukuthi I am here. My essence, my being, my history, everything is here with you in this moment. But when we talk about education, we neglect that. We don't talk about that. We don't integrate that into our pedagogy. We don't integrate that into our learning. It's almost as if only the mind and what we say is important, and not these other elements that make us human beings. And that is what being an African is about, being multidimensional in the way that we think and learn.